Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Mace Windu, Jar Jar Binks, and Qui-Gon Jinn from the Star Wars The Black Series retro-carded Star Wars Episode 1 line. Basically, these are just figures we've already gotten, but now redone on a retro Episode 1 card. Very reminiscent of the original Kenner packaging when that movie first came out in '99. I think they did a really great job with it. The camera is probably going to do some crazy things with the lighting because they're kind of a holofoil, which is kind of cool, so it's kind of difficult to actually show them off without the light playing tricks, but they're fun. Like I said, I remember this. I remember the height of the Star Wars mania in '99 when Phantom Menace came out. You couldn't turn around without seeing something Star Wars related, whether it was on your soda cup or, you know, toys, Legos. It was the first time they did Star Wars Legos. It was huge. I mean, it was everywhere. Good times. But you can see they have the big 50 Lucasfilm Limited. It's actually the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm Limited this year. Even though the original Star Wars didn't come out until '77, Lucas actually founded Lucasfilm in '71. So it is the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, same year as Kamen Rider. So that's pretty cool. Purely coincidental, but still really neat. On the back here, again, you just kind of have more holofoil, so again, it kind of looks almost like there's nothing there, and then when you have the light correctly shined on it, you can see everything there. So I think the packaging's really cool, but it's not going to stop me from go ahead and opening these. I have been waiting for quite a while at another chance at Mace Windu and Qui-Gon Jinn because I missed them the first time around. They just did a Jar Jar that I think was 30 that came with the shield and maybe one or two other accessories. I don't know why I passed on that one and I decided to get this one. These were all from Best Buy because I think they're exclusive to Best Buy right now. So I had pre-ordered all these, and then the one with the shield started going on clearance at Target, and I was kind of kicking myself for locking into this one. I guess I could have canceled it, but then they just shipped and whatever, it was here. So it looks like a really great Jar Jar figure, so not really that upset about it. I'm going to go ahead, get all three of these guys out of the packaging here, and we're going to take a closer look. So here are these three out of the packaging. We'll start over here with Mace Windu. I love the fact that he comes with the cape, but I just feel like it doesn't fit him properly. It just kind of looks strangely like, you know, weird clothes you'd put on a Barbie doll or something. This cape back here, or I should say the hood, is just, I don't know what's quite going on there. I feel like it's the way that it's sewed onto the cloak. It's almost like it's meant to just stay straight up the whole time, which would be fine, but then this doesn't really lay right. Like, you'd have to kind of pull this all the way down, and I don't know. Even then, I feel like it doesn't work well. You can kind of flip it down and kind of pop it inside out so that it'll just lay on the back, and then it looks okay. I feel like then his robes look pretty good. And I mean, I appreciate that they included the robes because not everyone gets them. And honestly, you could take these off and probably mix and match with some other characters. Like if you want to put this on Anakin or something like that, I feel like you could definitely do so. They come off super easy. I mean, you literally just pop these off like this. You know, you can pretend like he's throwing it off to the side, like he's getting ready to fight somebody. So I think that's pretty cool. I definitely appreciate that they were included. And the figure underneath looks really good. Let's take a look at the head sculpt. I feel like that looks like Sam Jackson. They did a pretty decent job there. I like that. So you have, it looks like the neck does move. You can see down here where it meets the body. And then, of course, the head is on a ball joint, so no issues there for movement. And then we have the typical hinge and swivel in the shoulder. And then you have what looks to be pinless elbows, which is pretty cool. So you have a hinge and rotation there, and then you also have a hinge and rotation in the wrist. So that's nice. Torso moves all the way around like so. You have soft rubber down here for these, I guess, robes. Although I will say the way that these are done make him look kind of fat down here. Like they're a little too wide. I mean, just looking at it quick at face value, it's not a big deal. But I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I kind of feel like, you know, the top works. And then this area is just a little too heavy. But in any case, he does have hip movement. So you can kind of kick about that far. Kick out to the side. You do have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, although you can see the pins there, and then you have the typical kind of hinge and rocker joint in the ankle. So nothing too exciting there. He does, of course, come with his signature purple lightsaber. This thing looks fantastic. And like most lightsabers in this line, you can detach the blade, as you can see. Although sometimes they worry me with how tiny those little pegs are. But just look at that hilt. That is some beautiful detailing, and the paint applications don't get much better than that, especially for something so small. So really nice job there. And then we go ahead and pop this in. And then this fits into his hand pretty easily, actually, which is nice. And he looks fantastic wielding it. I absolutely love that. My only complaint about the lightsaber hilt, it doesn't have a little peg so that it can peg onto his belt. So, and you can also see if you look around his belt, there is no peg hole because it doesn't have one, so makes sense. So unfortunately, he cannot store the lightsaber on his belt, but other than that, it's a pretty perfect lightsaber. The purple color of the blade looks fantastic, and all in all, he looks really, really good. So moving on to Jar Jar. This weapon is a little weird, mostly because I'm not really sure how he's supposed to hold it. You can see how I thought at first this was some kind of guard, but then it's kind of hard to get him to hold on to just this little piece right here. In the packaging, you have to attach this piece. This comes separately, and you just kind of pop this in here. It's a neat spear weapon, and I like it. I'm just not 100% sure how he's supposed to hold it, so I've just been kind of having him grasp it right there. But it's impressive. I mean, it's big. It's definitely long. It's a nice spear weapon there. But putting that to the side, here is Jar Jar. I think they've done a pretty good job. Let me get in a little bit closer so you can see the eyes are nicely painted. The head is all really nicely painted. The gradation of going from like the tan to the red, I think, works really well, especially on the arms. Really nicely done, and even just all his kind of like skin scale detailing is really nice. So really, really nice paint applications for Jar Jar. Now he's got a ball joint at the bottom of his neck where it meets the body, and then he's got a ball joint where the head meets the top of the neck. So he's got tons of articulation here and here as far as his head and neck go. He's got the typical hinge and swivel in the shoulder, and then he's got the hinge and swivel in the elbows, again, pinless, very nice. And then a hinge and swivel in the wrist. Nice amount of articulation here in the torso, and then he's got pretty good articulation in his hips. He can kick forward all the way, kick decently back. Of course, he does have this little skirt, which kind of gets in the way a little bit as far as back and out to the side articulation, but the hips can certainly come forward, no problem. Thigh swivel there, double jointed knees. Again, you can see the pins there. And then you have a giant swivel and rocker joint for the ankles, almost to the point where they look weird. Let me get a little bit closer there. So the way it's just kind of like the giant ball joint and then the foot, I don't know, it just looks a little off. It almost just looks like something's wrong with his ankles. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've actually looked at his feet in the movie, so I couldn't tell you what they're supposed to look like, and maybe that is exactly what they look like. Just looks a little off to me. But overall, I mean, the design, definitely the paint applications look amazing. All of his skin is really nicely painted. His head looks great. Overall, he just really, really looks good. And like I said, I'm just not 100% sure what is supposed to be going on with this weapon, but I just had an idea. Can we give him Mace's robe? All those rumors about Darth Jar Jar, can we make them come true? I mean, I know this isn't technically a Sith robe, but we can have a little bit of fun. Alright, let's see. Can I get the ears to participate? Kinda. He doesn't look smooth, but you know, kinda. You can pretend. All those people that want to pretend he's a Jedi or a Sith Lord. If it wasn't for those head tails, I feel like it would work a little bit better. But you can kind of live your dream. Alright, let's go ahead and take this off. Come on. So anyway, I think it's a good Jar Jar figure. I really do. I think they did a pretty excellent job as far as the detailing and the design, and certainly the paint applications are pretty perfect. And then coming along to Qui-Gon Jinn. He looks great. I think the Liam Neeson likeness is pretty darn good. Something's going on with the beard. It's like a little shiny or something. I'm not 100% sure what's going on down there. But the face sculpt, I think, looks like Liam Neeson. I think they did a great job there. And you can actually have him hold two-handed with the lightsaber grip, which I appreciate. And I have to take a look if I can actually get him to separate the hands here. Let me zoom out. It honestly took a minute to get him into this pose, and apparently he does not want to let it go. Now he's playing it like a guitar. Come on, Qui-Gon, help me out. Oh, is it the nubbin? Okay, I see what's going on here. So if he will stand for a moment, we'll take a look at the hilt. Really looks good. Really nicely done. Again, beautifully painted for something so small. This one actually does have a nubbin, so it can connect to his belt. We'll show that off in a moment. And you can, of course, detach the blade as per usual. And again, the hilt just looks fantastic, so absolutely love that. Actually, let's leave this off for a moment, and we will show off how it can connect to his belt. You can see there's a little spot right there. And so we pop that in. Come on, Qui-Gon, go ahead and pop that on there. There we go. So that looks pretty good. I always like when they can store their lightsabers on their belt. So he's got pretty much all the exact same articulation as Mace, honestly. He doesn't have as long of a neck, though, so you can kind of see how he's got a hinge here. And so the head can, look down, look up slightly, certainly move side to side, no problem there. And then he's got the typical hinge and swivel in the shoulder. He's got a pinless hinge and swivel there in the elbows and in the wrists. And then he's got kind of that same... He doesn't have as much movement, though. But he can go side to side, no problem. And there's a little bit of ball joint action there in the torso. And then I will say that his hips a little bit looser. So he can go out to the side very simply. Kick forward as much as this kind of soft skirt piece will allow. Thighs swivel. Double jointed knees. And then, of course, you have the hinge here pretty much all the way down. I mean, that's a large range of motion for the ankle there. And then he has the rocker side to side. So he looks good. I'm happy with him. Finally happy to add a Qui-Gon to my collection. Big fan of this character. It's a shame he did not last much longer. I would have liked to see him in a couple movies. I'm kind of hoping we can get some... I don't know if Liam Neeson is up for it. He's still pretty spry at his age, I would think. And I would like to see some, pre-episode 1 movies with Liam Neeson. I feel like he could still get away with that because it's not like he was a kid in that movie, so he could figure something out. But in any case, I think all three of these are pretty great. If I had to pick a favorite, probably a tie between the two Jedi, honestly. I mean, don't count out Jar Jar. He looks great. Articulation's great. The paint applications, he looks really sharp. Just his feet are a little weird to me. And he doesn't come with a lightsaber. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Lightsabers are great. I love how both of these can detach the blade. Both the colors look great. The sculpts for Liam Neeson and Sam Jackson look fantastic. So all the articulations there on all these figures, the detailing, the sculpts, the paint applications, the accessories, they're all great. I appreciate that this was included, even though it's not necessarily my favorite thing. I like having a Jedi robe because, like I said, you can kind of mix and match it. Maybe put it on Qui-Gon or somebody else, maybe Anakin, something like that. So we'll see how it goes. This weapon for Jar Jar, not bad. Just kind of a generic spear weapon, but, could be worse. Could be worse. So that's it. I think these are pretty fun. I definitely recommend picking them up. Like I said, they are available at Best Buy. As far as I know, they're exclusive to Best Buy right now if you're looking for that Episode 1 packaging. There's also a battle droid in this line that I decided not to pick up for right now. Might change my mind about that later. We shall see how that goes, but definitely knew I wanted these three for now. So I think they're great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.